To welcome to a very, very special outside broadcast here. It's the first time ever, you're not going to believe it. Firstly, let me tell you, it's cold out there. Just when we thought it was time for us to put those big godras away. Hey, but this cap is not sponsored, but it's here. And I'm not removing it, that's for sure. But I must tell you, for the next hour, it's going to be an awesome hour. We are here in Boksburg, Gauteng, and for the first time in the history of Islamic broadcasting, we are broadcasting simulcast on no less than 5 radio stations. Channel Islam International, Radio Islam, Al-Ansar, Voice of the Cape in the Western Cape as well. And guess what? Not forgetting in the East Rand, we've got Sirius FM as well. So, of course, it's been quite a nail-biter. For the last couple of days, you've been wondering what this launch is all about. The SANI Rent to Buy. What is this all about? And we're going to be chatting more about this for the next hour, inshallah. And we've got some special guests. But before we commence, it is almost always obligatory, inshallah, for us to start off in praise of the Almighty, inshallah. So with that, we need to hand over to Qari Umar Bashek. He is going to deliver the opening qiraat for us, inshallah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب رب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah so much, Qari Umar Sheikh, for that amazing, wonderful rendition of the excerpts of the Quran. Really beautiful, very, very powerful. Qari Umar Sheikh is originally from Kenya and is currently involved with CII as well, and really great to see him at numerous events as well. I'm not sure who's more popular, him or myself, but anyway, we'll argue that a little later. But again, welcome back. As I said earlier, Alhamdulillah, we're at a very, very special event here in Boksburg, Gauteng. Wherever in South Africa you may be, wherever in Southern Africa or around the globe, if you're following us on audio streaming, we are here in Boksburg. And I must tell you, what an amazing experience it is. It is absolutely electrifying. Earlier we mentioned to you that we're making history. Yes, we are. As you know, we are all now under the new normal, meaning lockdown is persisting. We have been sanitized. We have masks on earlier. We're socially distant as well. Those two gents you're going to see a little later, there's nothing wrong with them. They just look like that on a Friday evening. But that's the way the new norm has caught up with us. But having said that, we're also making history because for the first time across 5 radio platforms in South Africa, CII, Radio Islam, Al Ansar, Voice of the Cape in the Western Cape, as well as Sirius FM. We're coming to you live, and my name is Ashraf Ismail. It is an absolute honor and pleasure to be with you on this groundbreaking announcement. And inshallah, without wasting further time, let's get straight to it. But before we do that, dear listeners, there's a lovely prize waiting for you. What you've got to do, firstly, take this number down, 065 821 1022. I repeat, 065 821 1022. That number is going to become very, very handy because before we hit the big number, 8 o'clock tonight, we're going to be giving away a massive prize. So very important that you absolutely take that into account and pay careful attention to what's happening here today, inshallah, because trust me, it's going to be very, very handy. Let me walk across now, and I'm going to introduce you to our 2 brothers who look very serious, like I said. Let me start with the less serious one, the one who's smiling at least. And on the extreme right-hand side, on your left, is Brother Abdul Qayyum Nanabai. He's the divisional manager at SANI Rent to Buy. Okay? And then next to him on my side here, we've got Brother Muhammad Sidat, and he's the manager at No Finance Cars. Brothers, Jazakallah so much for having us here. You don't mind if I sit next to you, right? Okay, we are socially distant, 1.5 meters according to Sharia, and of course to the COVID-19 rules. We now have to observe all of which, eh? Yeah, that's how it is. Let's start off with this launch. Why are we here? Okay? Give us a little background about SANI, the brand, the history. Where and how did we arrive to where we are currently as far as SANI goes?
The SEFI group was established in the early 80s by the Mullah family. The group's primary businesses focus on the management and marketing of motor vehicles, from new car dealerships, pre-owned vehicle dealerships, and the rental business. That's the focus of the group. In the early 90s, the group branched out into the rental business under the banner of Dollar Thrifty Car Rentals and SANI. In 2012, the group identified a need in the marketplace for an alternative to conventional vehicle finance, and No Finance Cars was born. No Finance Cars presently boast being the market leader in South Africa in that field. Early this year, SANI Rent to Buy was conceptualized. We understood that there is a need in our community in particular for a Sharia-compliant alternative to regular finance, or a Sharia-compliant alternative to something outside of the regular banking arena. Fortunately for us, the existing rent-to-buy option boasts elements of compliancy, but regardless, we subjected the model to intense interrogation and scrutiny, and after several months of deliberation, we've finally, alhamdulillah, arrived.
Well done, that's very good. I'm happy you emphasize on that because you know with all the challenges we have, it's good to see we've arrived at a solution which is generally accepted and that it is 100% pure in terms of Sharia compliance. Yeah?
Absolutely.
That's great. That's awesome. So let's get into this about the SANI rent to buy concept. What makes it unique? And I heard you mention earlier, so there's a number of things that we're actually breaking ground on. First, I spoke about the fact that it's the first time that we are talking across 5 different radio stations, Islamic radio stations in South and Southern Africa. That's awesome. It's the first virtual launch that we're having post-COVID-19. And then, of course, there's this launch of the Sharia compliant. What makes it unique? Can you take us through that?
So basically, SANI Sharia Rent to Buy is the first of its kind in the sense that there isn't anything like it. And this being the brainchild of obviously within the group, I can confidently say there is not anyone anywhere around South Africa that has an offering like this. I don't think there's anybody that can put something like this together with regard to the availability of stock and the wide selection of vehicles and obviously the product offering and the pricing that we have on offer. Yeah, I can confidently say that that's where we're at. And this is what we want to take out to the market in general, to cater for the Muslim community as well as the masses in general, because this is definitely the way to go going forward. There's no commitments. You can obviously take a vehicle from us on a rent-to-buy option. There's no limitations on mileage and so forth. You drive that vehicle like it is your personal vehicle, and you have the option to change it up whenever you like or return it at the end of the term. You also have the option to change the vehicle as you go through different stages of your life as well. Unlike, the financial houses and that type of thing where you're bound with this axe around your neck through the entire term. So, yeah, I think this is the way forward of motoring, I think.
And I mean, of course, within conventional standard banking systems, you have the whole issue of riba. And of course, this is the one that doesn't touch on that. So already there, you have a very, very big benefit, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. With no banks, no interest, no mileage limitations,
yes,
a fixed rental payment throughout the term,
right,
where the client has an option to change or upgrade his vehicle every 18 months.
Yes. Yes.
He has an option to terminate, where the offering includes roadside assistance, mechanical breakdown cover, and a tracker management system. There is no doubt in our minds that there is no match to the unique value proposition that we're bringing to the market.
The unique value proposition is something we'll definitely come back on again, brothers. We want you to unpack it and simplify it and reinforce it, because that's the real message we want to give to our listeners out there as well, inshallah. Let's talk about, okay, so here I am, Joe Blogs, walk in through the doors, and I'm looking for a Peugeot 108. Okay, I can see you have a problem with that. I can see you judging me by my size. Okay, let's say I'm not a Vivo for me, not another Vivo. Maybe the Quest, the Corolla Quest, because everybody and his grandfather has a Toyota. It used to be in the Camrys and the Cressidas. Now we've got a Quest. There's a Quest in everybody's family. So how does it actually work? I come in, what makes this purchase, this process any different to what you say is the conventional system? You've explained the conventional system, you've spoken the benefit. Take me through the process. And if I want to sign up tomorrow, being a half working day, by when can I successfully, inshallah, get behind the wheel of the car? Because, that's another thing. You go to your banking guys, they're going to find and pick up that you haven't paid some doctor's fee in 2004 or whatever, and because of that, they're blocking you, and it's frustrating. You want a car, you need a car, the family is waiting for the car, and that car just never comes. Take us through the process. Who wants to talk to us through that?
Yeah, you can walk in through our doors. I mean, we've got multiple streams and multiple channels of getting to buy the car. You can go onto our website, complete the forms there. We've got a sales team back at our offices who will turn that application around within 24 hours. So you could come see me on Monday morning, at the latest Tuesday morning. I could get back to you with an approval, and probably by that week, you definitely be driving away with your vehicle. Like I said, we've got a sufficient amount of stock. There's multiple vehicles available of that particular model that you might be interested in, and the process is quite efficient and quite smooth from our side. It's just primarily your assessment and affordability assessment, and there's a few checks and balances from our side internally, and off you go.
Okay, that's the part I want to know. When you say checks in, just a few checks in where you sound like my doctor. There's just a few little problems. Nothing serious, don't worry about it, but we just have cut your kidney out. Take us through exactly what the checks and balances are, and where am I going to get tripped up if there's such a thing?
That's a trick question, because it's like asking auntie about a recipe for eat.
Lucky you didn't mention a mechanic who shakes his head and says, Buddha, you got a big problem here. You got a big problem.
And
when you see that, Gabrats. Yes, Gabrats. Is there anything that the man in the street need to unnecessarily worry about? Or?
Not per se. Primarily, it's based on affordability.
Yes.
So we do the right thing, and I wouldn't want to put somebody into something that he cannot afford.
Precisely.
Or something that would put them in a worse off position than they currently are. So obviously, we need to go through that entire exercise and look at where's the potential, and you know what, you coming in, and from your financial assessment, I can put you into a Peugeot 108, but you'll get a guy that comes through and wants an SUV. So, that's where we come into play, and we do that assessment, and we try and put you into a vehicle that you can afford, that it wouldn't impact your life negatively, so you wouldn't have to cut down on other things just because you want to get yourself into a bigger car.
Absolutely.
You want to add to that, Mohammed? Because I'm happy to hear that, because many a times when dealers and consultants see that, hey, listen, there is a guy who can actually, he meets all the requirements, all the criteria, etc., then you have a situation where, they want you to tick off all the boxes in terms of accessories as well. To such an extent, a poor guy is overbuying a car. And it's not long before, you've got a situation where you've got to repossess the vehicle, and we don't want that. So I'm glad to hear that you mentioned the issue of almost responsibility around the issue. Yeah.
So, like I said, all those bells and whistles, if I can put you, if I can mention them, obviously put you into that vehicle, it becomes an image thing, and sometimes those things are overpriced. You go through and you insist you want a sunroof, and the sunroof costs you probably 30,000 Rand more on your price tag. How often do you actually use that sunroof? That type of thing. So, we try and explain to our clients and be realistic about what is on offer and what we can supply to them at the same time as well.
Abdul, I'm beginning to like you. I'm not there yet, but we're getting there. I'm beginning to like you because you're talking about responsible purchasing. And when you spoke about sunroofs, let's go for an ad break. When we come back, inshallah, I want to touch about this issue of the sunroof, because it might, I'm not sure, I can't understand why you picked on it, because not so long ago I had issues with two potential buyers wanting to a sunroof, and I got upset. In this day and age, when affordability is a big issue, you want a car with a sunroof. In what way does a sunroof actually assist you in that way, right? So we'll talk about that as well. But right now, we're going to go for a break. Before I do that, listeners out there, this is the number 065-821-1022. 065-821-1022 is the number to remember, because trust me, just before 8 o'clock, inshallah, we will be making an announcement of a lucky winner. So whatever you do, don't move your dial, and of course, don't forget the number 061-821-1022, inshallah. At this point, we're going to ask Kari Umar Bashek again, please, to take us through another rendition, inshallah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So inshallah, humble appeal to all those that are around, inshallah, to join in the salawat and durood upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم محمد سيد الكونين والثقلين والفريقين من عرب ومن عجم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم هو الحبيب الذي ترجى شفاعته هو الحبيب الذي ترجى شفاعته لكل هول من الأهوال مقتحم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم يا ربي بالمصطفى بلغ مقاصدنا يا ربي بالمصطفى بلغ مقاصدنا واغفر لنا ما مضى يا واسع الكرم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم
Kari Umar Bashek, I must say, I have to concede. Alhamdulillah, that is absolutely awesome. But you can test my kalimas before we go. All right? Okay, and see how we get. Okay, I know one place where I can whip you. On the racing track. You see, I came from a background of cars, Malana. Now, some of us, we were misguided from a very young age. We should have gone your route. That is for the akhirat. Now, we are but delayed. But anyway, welcome back to the SANI Rent to Buy launch. Abdul came earlier, we were talking about the sunroof incident, right? So can I just take you through this every day? Maybe once a week or 2 to 3 times a week, we get people who are inquiring about buying cars, okay? And I get very upset when people insist, I want a car. One person told me, I won't say because it's Ladies' Month. Oops, I just messed it up. I want a car, any car, as long as it's got a wheel at the back. Right, okay, SUV, thank you. And many of the people actually want a car with a sunroof. And you ask yourself, but in this day and age when things are so tough economically, should we not be looking out and being careful about our rents and cents? And clearly, the rent to buy is a scheme to assist people to make those kind of economically conscious purchases and also assist with budgeting. Does it to an extent help you to understand what you can actually afford? Yeah, tell us about it.
So from a budgeting perspective, obviously, like I said, we take you through that affordability exercise and so on and so forth, right? And I think the major component with a rent to buy is that your monthly payments are fixed throughout the term. There's no variance. I mean, with the conventional system, with the rates or whatever being low, you could be paying an installment of 3,000 Rand. things change, whatever, and that 3,000 rand quickly becomes 5,000 rand, and then you start snapping back on other things in your life and so forth, and that's when you start biting the nails and pulling the hair, that type of a thing. With this, you obviously know exactly what you're getting into from the onset, and you plan your life from that aspect. So, for example, I'm just going to use a ballpark figure, a Polo with 7,000 rand deposit and a 5,350 rand for the full term. You know that's what you're in for the full term. And the day things don't work out for you, you're welcome to bring the vehicle back through to us, and we part ways from that aspect. Or we can put you into another vehicle that might be a bit more affordable for you.
I know you touched on this, both of you brothers touched on it, and I'd just like you to unpack it a little more for our listeners, inshallah. The difference between the standard financial schemes as compared to the SANI Sharia compliant scheme. If you could just unpack it in case some of our listeners probably tuned in late or something, but just to recap, please.
So the difference between I'd say the SANI Sharia rental product compared to any other conventional banking product is that this, and I'm going to be very bold about saying it, is that it is the purest form of a ijara or a Sharia contract. The ijara is a type of contract, it's a method of financing or leasing, if you want to put it that way. And I'm going to emphasize that fact because with SANI Sharia, there's no third party involved or anything of that sort. So, and where I'm getting at is that if you're going to go through from a conventional bank type of a thing, irrespective of what that bank is selling you money. Bottom line. However it's set up or whatever, there's a dealer, there's you, and there's the bank, and they are selling you money, bottom line. All right? And with SANI Sharia Rent to Buy, it is a contract between you as the rentor and the client as the rentee. So it's my vehicle, I own it, and I'm renting it to you on these terms at this price for this particular time frame. You happy? That's the purest form of an Islamic contract in my opinion.
Just on the issue of terms and conditions, Abdul Karim, could you just briefly elaborate for us around the issues of roadside service, maintenance, wear and tear, roles and responsibilities?
Okay, so I'm going to give you a small little analogy in this scenario, right? And we've got the product, we've had the product. That's why Muhammad Sidat has obviously been here, and we've got the infrastructure for this entire product. And our product has been tried and tested. So from a rent to buy perspective, you take this vehicle. I'm going to use the analogy of renting a house. If I'm renting my house to you, you are liable for fixing the little tap that leaks, or if the roof has a few leaks, you need to put the waterproofing on there, or do a paint job on that type of a thing. It's the same instance with a vehicle. If you take a vehicle from us, you are liable for the minor maintenance, so the tires, the fuel, the oil changes, and the services, and so on and so forth. However, from our side, the major maintenance is covered by us. Just like in the house analogy, you're the guy renting the house, but the roof blows off or the geyser bursts. That's a major maintenance issue. That's where we as SANI Rent to Buy would come into play.
That's where you guys take care of it. Okay, cool. No, that's lovely. That's lovely. I'm starting to get even more excited about this whole scheme. 065-821-1022. 065-821-1022. So the good news is that one lucky listener is going to walk away with 1,000 rands, 1,000 smackaroos, yes, all for doing a very, very simple thing. As we approach the second half or the second lap or the final lap of the show, we will be asking you a question. And of course, you need to pay very, very careful attention, because even the cameras will assist you. They'll be panning across the question, and this is what you've got to do. Your name, the area you come from, and to select one vehicle from the range of 14 vehicles, and the cameras will pan around very shortly, will show you which one. You just got to choose one vehicle that is part of this particular scheme, inshallah. 1,000 rands. 1,000 rand, that's a lot of smackaroos, people. You can all do with 1,000 rand. And guess what? You don't even have to send us a receipt. You can just go into your heart's content, inshallah. Maybe, put down a deposit, like they say. Is this scheme available to both private and company buyers? Mohammed
Absolutely.
Bhai?
Absolutely. Private individuals as well as companies are welcome to engage with us. A huge advantage for businesses in particular is that the rental may be expensed. And for a business person, we obviously have commercial vehicles, and whether he takes a passenger vehicle or a commercial vehicle, the benefit to him on his rental is that it can be expensed as well as his VAT claimed every month.
That's amazing because, we all have to agree that we're living in very unusual times. It's the new normal. All of us have to watch the bottom lines. We have to budget carefully, whether you're a private owner or a business, small business operator, which that category is taking a lashing. And of course, we need to see how well we can assist. And clearly this, to my mind, is one way of assisting the beleaguered small entrepreneur. Would that be a correct way of surmising it?
Absolutely. Given that he has a fixed, unchanging monthly rental throughout the term, he knows for a certainty that whatever rental payment he signed for on day one is the same rental he'll be paying us in the 60th month.
Yes, definitely. And for him too, the corporate or the entrepreneur, if he gets to, let's say, 2 years or 18 months down the contract, if he decides, look, this vehicle is no longer suitable for my purposes, I need now a 2-ton, can he actually bring the vehicle back as well?
Graciously.
Okay.
Any client has the option to upgrade at any stage after the 18th month.
Yes.
We have a very, very simple, easy formula that we would apply at that point. It's simply the difference between the two deposits, and that would get him into a new vehicle, probably a vehicle with no mileage or with half the mileage that he's put onto his old vehicle.
Good. 065-821-1022. I repeat, 065-821-1022 is the WhatsApp number. All you've got to do, give us your name, the area you come from, and of course choose 1 out of 14 vehicles that are participating in this very special SANI Rent to Buy scheme. Remember, it's a first for South Africa. We are breaking new ground here. It is absolutely Sharia compliant. It is a user-friendly approach to owning and enjoying a car, really. So before we get to, I actually want to see the cars. I'm a car guy. I love driving cars, Mohammed. I tell you. And I think I'll start with a 108. Maybe it's an incentive for me to lose weight. But I think it's going to be a kind of a revelation. When I look past, they didn't look so small.
But as you can see, we haven't taken a one-size-fits-all approach.
And you didn't mean that literally, right? Okay. Okay, that's good. We'll come to the cars. I want you to tell us why you chose this 14, right? Let's talk about the motivation. There may be certain people out there that are still skeptical. It's in the nature of human beings that whenever there's something new, we're in our comfort zones, we become skeptical. What is the motivation behind SANI Rent to Buy? I mean, why would you be so
I think the model
generous?
has been pre-tested by No Finance Cars, a sister company to SANI Rent to Buy, over the last 10 years. So we are certain that having gone through the processes and ironed out all the creases over the last 10 years, that the Sharia-compliant offering that we have, which is platformed, as Abdul Qayyum said earlier, on the Islamic Ijara principle, that there's a strict adherence to all the principles that define the Ijara platform, including usufruct. The client is very aware, and this is an important thing, he's aware on day one what the buy option amount would be at the end of the term.
No, I'm beginning to see the light. I'm actually tempted to really sign up as well. I'm just worried if you're going to continue over the next hour, I'm going to sign. That's worrying. Wifey told me, whatever you do, don't get involved. Don't become emotionally attached. And please don't call me from there. Because she knows this itchiness to want to.
But it's simple, it's pure, it's the right way to buy a car.
Perfect. Great stuff. Now that's what we want.
The thing is, I think if I can jump in there, with this Sharia product, right, we've gone through various Sharia scholars and so forth, and obviously they've gone through the bolts and nuts of our entire product, our existing product and the SANI Sharia product, and obviously that's where we've got our entire compliancy. And from the range of vehicles and so forth that we have on offer, I mean, there's something for every stage of every person's life. I mean, the student that's obviously needing a small little commute to get to varsity, and then from that point on where, you need a bit of a bigger vehicle and the SUVs come into play. And from the business perspective, your small little business as well as your fleet vehicles. I have one case in point, if I can mention it. I had a guy that's come up through to us and said, I'm taking this primarily because of there's no banks, there's no interest, there's no balloon payments, there's no residual, so everything's all straight up and clear cut. And he took the vehicle for business purposes. And he was very hell-bent on the fact that had he taken the vehicle price, I'm going to use a random figure of 200,000 Rand, and had he dumped that into a vehicle which he had purchased, he would have been 200,000 Rand shy on his bottom line. However, had he taken that same money and dropped it into his business, he should look at the long-term effect and the turnover and profitability that he would have generated on the 200,000 Rand over that term. And that was the basis of him taking that vehicle with us. And obviously, he's just paying that 5,000 Rand installment for the bakkie that he took with us. So, I mean, there's something for everybody. There's something to suit almost every business, every individual. And then we were very excited about introducing our Harley Davidsons.
Don't even go there now. Don't even go there. You're going to take the wind out of my sails. We are at that stage where we're going through midlife crisis, and we need something like that. But Abdul Qayyum, let's go to the cars now, brothers. I think we're now quite excited. We'd like to see the vehicles that are participating in the scheme, inshallah. I think the listeners would love to see this as well. So let's start from would you want to call it the entry level, and work across half a moon towards what you've just mentioned, sure. The Harley Davidsons. Man, I tell you, Mohammed, I don't know who looks sexier, you or I on this thing.
I think Harley. You would.
I think so too, definitely.
Yeah, it's a pity we didn't have an Istima this year.
Yeah,
because we had a special vehicle for that.
Really? Tell me, I need to know. As long as not those Eastern Cape ambulances that the 3 scooter ambulances you were talking about, right? Okay, let's go to the cars, and while we walk across, the cameras will pan and join us. Dear listeners at home, the listeners of CII, Radio Islam, Sirius FM, Voice of the Cape, as well as, who did we leave out? Sirius FM, can never get the 5 right altogether. You see now, this is where I'm going to get fired. Voice of the Cape in the Western Cape, yes, definitely. So you can see this is really Sharia compliant. We went through most of the Muslim stations, and of course it's a wide spectrum as well. So I've got with me Muhammad Sidat and Abdul Qayyum Nanabai, the divisional manager of SANI Rent to Buy and manager of Known Finance Cars, respectively. We're going to start off on our extreme right-hand side and look at the 14 vehicles that are participating in this innovative, very exciting, very unusual, groundbreaking scheme, the SANI Rent to Buy scheme. Let's start off with this very unusual car. Let me tell you up front, I am a lover of French cars. I got to say that. Whether it's a Citroën, a Renault, or a Peugeot, there was a lot of bad things said about the little quid, but trust me, Peugeot and Citroën, we had them on with the CEO recently, and trust me, they were all up and confident about being in South Africa. Gone are the days of poor after-sales service and waiting 6 months for spares and backup from France, etc. They reckon they've got backup and you can get delivery within 24 hours wherever in the country you are. So gentlemen, take us through the Peugeot 108.
Brand new. I think that's the first thing I have to say about it. It's a brand new vehicle with a full Peugeot factory warranty. Okay.
Tell
Yes.
us about the engine. What capacity motor does it have?
So it's a 900cc. This is the one that you want to fill 350 Rand for the weekend.
Aha, good. How many times can it take me to Durban?
Depending on what speed you drive.
Yes. I'm going to try
you
this
can make
out
a few
at
runs.
DKU. Right?
You're going to fit like a
I'm
glove.
going to fit. You won't need a crowbar to get me out of here, right? So, dear listeners, trust me on this. Ahmed Bhai, please make sure, don't show this angle, right? Just show me getting in nicely and coming out nicely. Okay, so there we are. I'm going to help in here. No, guys, this is serious. Eh? I'm not joking. I'm a big guy. There's no hiding that fact. And sitting in this car, I can definitely make a long distance trip to Durban. Yes, I can. Everything is available, everything reaches, everything is easily. Hey, you can even reach the door on the left hand side. That's awesome, right? And guess what? Although it looks like a 2-door, it's actually a 4-door. Look at this. This is absolutely amazing and brand new. They even have the plastic to prove it, okay? No charge extra for the plastics, but, and it's got a cute little boot. Let's try this. Oh, this is too beautiful. This is cute, with folding rear seats as well. Great stuff. Okay, so let's go to the next car in the range, and this is, of course, the entry level. So if you've got somebody who's just entered at varsity or whatever, they want a little run around, I wouldn't mind running around. You know, I was going to say to the masjids, but now with lockdown, that's another issue. Okay.
To the masjids, we have the heart.
Okay, so then we have the Evergreen, the top-selling car in South Africa, the VW Polo, the VW Vivo. Oh, no, okay, he doesn't want me in the picture. Am I that big? Like, you serious? This Ahmed Bhai is out of order. What, you don't have to tell us about the Vivo. We all know about the Polo Vivo. But just add to what we already know about the Vivo.
The Polo Vivos are 1.4s, very, very economical, very popular, as you know. It's fully spec nevertheless, so it has aircon, power steering, radio tape, airbags. Whether you're a student or a business person, that's a great choice.
Absolutely, and I mean, backed by the VW badge, what else is there to say? Really nothing. It's a biggest selling vehicle, passenger vehicle, amazing car.
I think,
okay.
Ashraf, I'd like to mention, based on all the vehicles that we have available, they either brand new vehicles or 2019 models with very low mileage on them.
Okay.
All the
very
vehicles,
low meaning under how many thousand Ks?
15,000.
Okay, cool.
Right?
So what we would call a demo vehicle.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
And they're all still under factory warranty.
Amazing. Great stuff. Okay, next up, is that car included, the Etios?
Yes.
Right, so can we go to the back over there? We've got the Toyota Etios before we come to the big brother, the Toyota Corolla Quest. What can we tell us about the Etios? Selling well, is it?
Over the Polo, I think the Polo has been a winner hands down, but yes, you have that discerning client that looks for this. Obviously, it falls into a different pricing category, and that's why we've accommodated and included it onto the fleet as well.
And has everything, all the bells and whistles like a Polo has?
It's got everything that you would require in a car, so your power steering, your central locking, aircon, mags,
awesome.
that type of thing. Yeah.
And again, backed by Toyota, one of the largest global players in the world. There is nothing more to speak about that. Coming up here to the big brother, the Toyota Corolla Quest. Now, you know, the interesting thing, it's a post-generation revamped vehicle, but obviously with a few frills missing. What are the frills that are missing, actually?
So this is your basic Corolla. This is the one that you'd obviously want to get as the mum's taxi.
Yeah.
To do the school runs and so on and so forth. So enough space for the soccer boots and all the gear in the back, and fuel economical at the same time as well.
And Toyota reliability, durability,
goes
economy.
on and on.
You cannot say a thing. And of course, resale values. The day you decide to sell it, you know you'll get more than your money back. Yeah? And then we've got the Hyundai. Which one is this? The i10? Yeah.
That's a Grand i10.
Yeah.
You make a grand entrance every time you use that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a little car that packs a lot of punch.
Right.
So it's got everything that you need in a little car. So your electric windows, your aircon, power steering, multifunction steering, fuel economy of note.
Yes.
I think compared to almost every vehicle on the fleet, I think the Grand i10 stands out of the crowd from a fuel economy perspective, as well as a comfort and driving style.
Let's walk across here. While we do that, I'm going to give out the number again, 065-821-1022. Dear listeners, time's running out, 065-821-1022. Walala wasala, ne? 1,000 rand. Don't cry, hana FAFA later. But let me walk around these very, very awesome vehicles. We'll come and talk about the first SUV that we see here.
Sure.
Mohammed Bhai, you look like an SUV driver.
Jay, we missed the first one. That one's got a sunroof.
Oh no, that's why I missed it. That's why I didn't want to talk about the sunroof. Okay. But seriously, does that one have a sunroof? Okay, so there's two different versions. Okay, take us through both, please.
So this is the 2.5 CVT, fully spec'd, got all the bells and whistles. Absolutely nothing that one is short of, backed by full Nissan warranty.
Can I have a look? While you describe it, I'd love to look at the interior of this car. Okay, so this is an SUV. You know, SUVs are these vehicles that are taking the world by storm. I think the Quest is probably the only sedan that's left to sell now in the world. The rest of them are going into SUVs, and you can understand why. Firstly, it's almost a multi-purpose vehicle. It has higher ground clearance. It's very, very stylish. The quality is awesome, right? So you can see the plastics and the materials, the standards used, very, very classy. Nissan has really done a great job. I must say Nissan's SUV range is much, much nicer than their, am I allowed to say it?
Fully spec'd with leather.
So well done to that. Okay, and then still in the Nissan range, we've got the Datsun Go.
1.2, very economical, very affordable. Easily a first choice for a first vehicle for most people.
Yeah.
So just to jump in there, I think Datsun Go is, I think, our most affordable vehicle that we have available at around 4,000 odd rand, 4,400 to be precise, on a monthly rental, which I think is extremely affordable for almost anybody.
4,400 gets you into one of these cars, and trust me, listeners, this you better be. 1 liter, 3-cylinder motor. If you've ever had the opportunity of driving one of these cars, you will be amazed at the roar. You know, it's got this 3-cylinder roar that I always say punches above its body weight. It's just awesome. It's the way technology has just moved. In the past, the kind of performance this car does, it would have probably whooped an AMG from the 1980s. That much I can tell you. Let's talk about this big boy here, the Ford Everest.
3.2.
Yeah? 3.2. Okay, so you're catering for the top of the guys there as well. Yeah. No sunroof, I see, but of course, 3.2 motor, very, very. Is it the 4x4 or the 4x2?
4x4.
4x4. So if you want to climb, SANI is going to take you to SANI Pass. That's for sure. Backed by Ford, and of course, you know Ford has made an amazing comeback. Yeah, very, very good.
Available.
Well done. Then we've got the Hyundai. Which one is this? The Creta?
Hyundai Creta, yes.
Okay,
1.6.
also a top seller, yeah?
Very much, yes.
So far, if you look at it, we've only had good sellers. You're not putting in
No,
on the
alhamdulillah,
market.
we've already delivered a few of these.
Wow, that's awesome. This is amazing. Hyundai is really doing well. Eh? The Historian guys are absolutely... And the designs are so fresh and so modern. I mean, it has given some of the established players a good run for their money as well. Tell us about the Creta. What motor does it have?
So 1.6.
Yeah.
Also fully spec'd as MPVs come. Leather interior, mags, the usual bells and whistles. There's absolutely nothing one is short of on this vehicle.
You got Kirat CDs in the car?
Always.
Okay.
I think,
and then...
sort of just one thing I'd like to mention also is that our vehicles and our vehicle fleets get updated on a monthly basis. So there's stuff that we're introducing on a monthly basis. Like I said, we try and cater for every level or every stage of a person's life. So there's some vehicles that might not be on display here. And one that might come to mind is obviously the Mercedes-Benz X-Class. That's a double cab bakkie. That's also something which we have in the pipeline as well.
Cressida 2.4 GLE station wagon you won't have, right? From the early 90s.
If you really bend my arm hard, I still won't get it for you.
Yes. No, okay, maybe for Kari Umar Bashik, they like Camrys. Right? Just Camrys. If you can get Camrys. Look at it, they're getting me into trouble now. Okay. Are we coming to that? That's why I want to put him on there. We're going to do this. This is a big one for him. Let's get to this car here. This is the Nissan Almera.
From the
Boot
same
space.
lineage as the Invincible
Yes,
Sentras as we
yes.
discussed earlier.
Yes.
This would be my first choice, whether you're going for 3 days, 10 days, 4 months.
You
This
see,
won't
this
let
is
you
where
down.
you and I are going to part ways, Mohammed. But I thought I was liking you, but really, this is the one car I would really, you'll have to like give it to me for free. I just don't, that the rear, man. You know, it looks like a car that was designed by two committees. The front guys didn't know what the rear guys were doing. And when it came to the Friday afternoon, the guys came on Monday and said, boss, we were a bit tired, so we just put this in this.
I must disagree. This is going to give you as much as for half the price.
Okay, so let's have a look at it inside. And the boot, I'm told the boot is exceptionally large, and that's why it has that controversial styling. So let me get in there. Mahmoud, if you can hold on to that for me, please. Okay, so this is the car I least like. But let's see, can I actually live in it? Yes, I think. Okay, I move the seat back. I must tell you, firstly, it's brand new, so it smells brand new, and the plastics are well. I love the upholstery, that can work for me. And guess what? I think I love the rear seating. Let's try the seating at the back. You know, when you sit behind yourself, then you can tell whether or not there's been some thinking. I see why, Mohammed Bhai.
Gee.
Now I see why. This is the secret.
Are you going to call the wife or should I?
No. I still want to sleep at home tonight. No, this is awesome. I'm in the back of this car. Mabdua, you sit in front, please. So we have two adults, right? Sitting one behind the other. And now I can understand the logic behind this controversial C-pillar on the Nissan Almera, which I never liked. I'm sitting totally comfortable. We can go to an istima somewhere in Twee Buffels met een Skietfontein without being angry or upset at the end of it all. Okay, and then let's have a look at the boot. Aha, okay, there we are. It's a bit dark here. Where's my cell phone torch? Oh, I see. Yeah, you can actually hide somebody in here. You can put some of the ANC parliamentarians here. Cross them over the border. Yeah. Okay, so there we have it. No, there's definite logic, and it comes with alloy wheels, eh? Yep.
True.
Great stuff. Awesome. You know, you only start knowing a car when you get up close and personal with it, when you live with it, when you drive it, and all the rest. Kari Umar Bashik, we need your professional opinion on this. This is one area I know little or nothing about, and that is the Harley Davidson. Why the Harleys? What possessed you guys to introduce or include these two on the range of vehicles available?
So to start that off, I mean, and we had a chat prior to this about the Harleys. Remember, a Harley was always something that I wish I could have, something that we've always seen in the movies. Yes. I know it was something that was, far off. And this is obviously something that we've put together, and we've brought the Harley to South Africa, and we're putting you into a Harley Davidson motorcycle that at an extremely affordable price. At 2,500 Rand a month, you could be owning a Harley Davidson.
From unattainable to attainable.
And affordable. Just say that slowly to me, please.
So your midlife crisis,
Yes,
park it on the side,
right?
jump on the bike.
There's hope for me.
Yeah, even if your wife chases you home today, it's a one-seater. Don't worry.
Oh man, this is awesome. And this is the real McCoy, right? Harley Davidson.
So 750 cc's, liquid cooled.
Does it make that brr brr sound? It's typical classical, because you can't have a Harley Davidson that sounds like a singer sewing machine, right?
You
It's
can
got a
tweak
sound
it to
like
make
a-
whichever sound you like.
Wow. Oh, guys, I think Kari Umar Bashik, I want you to sit on this one here, because you know why? This orange tail lamps matches with the orange kurta and it will look good on the social media pictures there. Please sit over, throw your leg over there. Yeah, there we go. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. There you are. Don't start it, right? We don't want any incidents like the Jaguar XF.
So this bike here is an extremely well-balanced bike. I mean, for any size and body type. So, I mean, even you can obviously feel it, Karisab. You feel it, it's quite easy, it's quite manageable. It's not something that you're going to feel like you're going to fall over whilst you're on it. So, it's a Harley Davidson that has been produced primarily as a day-to-day commute at the same time as well. So, this is one of those where I can buy it to travel to work every day with.
So you can use it as a commuter during the week and as a long-distance cruiser over the weekend. Breakfast runs to Cullinan. Kenya, it may be a long call. You may not want to go to Nairobi from here with it.
I think for that I'll need a street glide.
You see, the Karisab knows a thing or two about these. Next thing he's going to tell me about Harley Davidson, fat tail and soft tail and whatever. But how does it feel? How do you think you could?
Yeah, as he said, it's something that light and for you to get from your home to go to work and get back. And obviously the breakfast run on Sunday morning to Artabiya Sport or whichever part where you go to enjoy. But mashallah, it's lovely. I would like to actually get one.
Abdul Qayyum, you want to get one? Abdul Qayyum, I have to ask.
Paperwork.
No, again, my wife will give me a lot of trouble.
I need ijazat from the wife first.
To get a permit first.
I usually say you get sabak from the wife at home.
Abdul Qayyum, I'll be failing in my duty as we come towards the final lap of this very special broadcast, inshallah. Listeners, you have a few minutes left and you need to move on it, okay? We got 1,000 rands that we're giving away. Is it possible for us to start this thing up? To rev it up, to listen to the motor without getting into the offices there, please, inshallah. Who's got the keys? Is there anybody who can just start this thing up here?
I can start it.
Yeah?
You can start it, go for it.
Yeah, okay. You see, there you are. There we are.
Yeah, but no,
breaking additional ground now. First time in the history on South African soil, we've got Kari Umar Bashek, who is actually going to start a Harley Davidson. Karisab, you know what? Everyone's holding their fingers crossed and making lots of dua. Don't pull a Jaguar XF stunt on us. Ne? You saw what went viral the other day. Yeah? They from Nairobi. They know how to ride bikes. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
There you go.
There we go. Something is going to happen. It's going to come up. Aye, there you go. There you go.
Give it some juice, man.
Let it rev like when you were praying Quran. You know the revving, yes. Listen to this. Oh, man, that puts hair on a man's chest, really. Well done, well done. Yeah, 2.5 grand, eh? Serious, this is...
That's it.
If you have a wife, she's going to leave you. If you don't have a wife, you're going to get one. This is the type of bike.
You win either way.
Either way. You can't lose, guys. This is the real McCoy. Honestly. No, well done. Mohammed Bhai, are these the only colors they come in?
No, it's got.
Oh, there's a range of colors.
There's
I
a
think
range
there's
of colours,
denim
right?
red, there's the black, the blue as well.
And are we going to see an expanded range of motorcycles available
Yes,
along
that
the
is
line
to
as
come.
well?
That is to come. Yeah.
Not just Harleys, other makes as well, possibly?
For now, it's just the Harleys that we've introduced. I'm
Yeah.
sure we will expand our product range going forward. So this particular Harley, I don't think you'd find anywhere else in the world at this particular price.
This is amazing. Just say that again. This is music to my ears. I got to remember all this when I get home. The selling point, the pitch that you use. Hey, the wife wants AMC ports. I'm buying the AMC port tomorrow with the pen and all the rest in exchange.
Delivered on a Harley.
Yeah. Serious. Yeah, there you are. You see, there we are. Okay, great stuff, people. Brother Muhammad Sidat, Brother Abdul Qayyum Nanabai, Divisional Manager, SANI Rent to Buy, and Manager, No Finance Cars, respectively. Want to thank you guys. We really enjoyed our stay here with you people today. Karim Arbashik, we will ask you to please recite for us the final dua. But again, for our listeners across the various platforms of Radio Islam, Channel Islam, Voice of the Cape, Sirius FM, Again, the fifth one's missing again. Yeah.
VOC.
Okay. VOC. Al-Ansar. That's where the wife comes from. So I must not upset them. 065-821-1022. I repeat, 065-821-1022. We've gone through all the vehicles. I'll quickly mention it. The Peugeot 108, the VW Polo, the Toyota Etios, the Toyota Corolla Quest. We have the
Granite 10.
X-Trail, the Nissan X-Trail. We've got also the Datsun Go, the Ford Ranger, the Hyundai Creta, and of course the Nissan Almera. So all you've got to do, choose one of these vehicles that you would love to perhaps get involved with. Give us your name, the area that you're coming from, inshallah. WhatsApp the answer to us at 065-821-1022. I repeat, 065-821-1022, inshallah. That is up. I think at this point we're going to ask you to perform the dua, inshallah. Right?
On a Harley.
On a Harley, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So he said just a short nazam.
So there's a third groundbreaker today because you're getting a dua on a Harley today.
I had a 1,200cc Harley Davidson.
Yeah.
So whenever guys would see me on it, they would say, Karina, you riding. You're supposed to be on the mimbar, not here. What you riding? So inshallah today, after this, people will call and say, what dua are you making on a Harley? I say, I was asked to do by Ashraf. I had to do it. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. رقت عيناي شوقا ولطيبة ذرفت عشقا فأتيت إلى حبيبي فاهدأ يا قلب ورفقا صلي على محمد الصلاة عليك يا رسول الله السلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله يا رسول الله اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام تباركت وتعاليت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين اللهم بارك لهم فيما رزقتهم اللهم اغفر لهم وارحمهم اللهم بارك لنا اللهم ارزقنا الحلال وبارك لنا فيه وباعد بيننا وبين الحرام كما بعدت بين المشرق والمغرب برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على النبي الأمي والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Jazakallah so much, Kari Umar Bashek. Again, a groundbreaking event, I must say that. First time we had Kari Sahib actually perform dua and read a nazam for us from atop a Harley Davidson. I want to take this opportunity of thanking all the colleagues and a lot of support crew here from SANI Rent to Buy. We really love the hospitality. Jazakallah so much for having us here. To all our partners, Radio Islam, Sirius FM, Voice of the Cape, as well as Al-Ansar. We now come to the point where we want to actually make the announcement, and I'd like to call up my boss man, hell of a nice guy. I love him to bits. He's one of the greatest things since sliced bread. Love him to bits because my leave form is actually on his desk. Okay, but Hafiz Imran Ismail really does a brilliant job there with us, and he's going to make the announcement of the winner of the 1,000 Rand cash voucher, inshallah. Hafiz Imran, who is going to get that 1,000 Rand, inshallah?
Yes, alhamdulillah, Ashraf, this was a fantastic broadcast here this evening. A lot of excitement as well. The entries were flowing in like crazy. Obviously, we need to close it somewhere, so it's officially closed right now. A big shukran to everybody that took out time in order to WhatsApp us. People put very detailed car models as well. All of the names were entered into a random draw, and alhamdulillah, we have a winner. Very far away from where we are right now, all the way from the Western Cape. So for everyone that sent in from the Western Cape, it could be you. And if your name starts with A, then maybe that's you as well.
That could be me. Hey, I was in the Cape last week. Oh no, okay, not me. All right, thank you.
Okay, so the initials is AK. It's not an alim.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Abdul Karim Abrahams from the Western Cape. MashaAllah, 1,000
Well
rand
done,
coming
well
your
done.
way,
Great
inshallah.
stuff.
Aziz.
Mashallah. Well done to you. Great stuff. 1,000 rand will be coming your way. Like I said, spend it to your heart's content. You don't have to supply us with the receipt as well. Jazakallah once again to brothers Muhammad Sidat as well as brother Abdul Qayyum Nanabai. Jazakallah for hosting us here as well. You will remember, did not eat when I arrived because I told you about the heartburn issue when I have to talk. So my turn to eat is still there. Please don't send the platters away. Okay, Jazakallah so much to the sound, lighting, television crew and all the guys pressing my buttons, not my buttons but the buttons. Jazakallah so much, keep well, take care and all the best inshallah with the launch and the rollout of this innovative scheme, the SANI Rent to Buy. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.